I think, Steve, he was in attack mode. We felt like we had an advantage with his athleticism. They're big, but they're a little more lumbersome. So we were just trying to put him in space. And I think 7 big offensive rebounds is what really got him going. I think in the first half he had 5 offensive rebounds that led to at least 8, maybe 10 points for him, like putbacks. Then it got him going. I thought the 1-3-1 was effective early. We turned him over 6 times in that in the first half. They ended up with 18 turnovers. For us, our formula is fairly consistent. Points in the paint is a big, big deal for us. We've got to win points in the paint. And in our last outing, we were winning it in a dominant fashion in the first half, and we got dominated in the second half. We got to win second chance points. We have to win points off the turnover, and we got to win the free throw line. And then 50-50 balls. If you're not winning 50-50 balls, and this team on the year is minus in that area. Tonight, I think we won it until I look. Yeah, we were +2. So if you don't win 50-50 balls in the situation that we're in, what message does that send your coach? What message does that send your fan base? Are you not capable of doing it? Is the other guy just better at than getting to the ball? Maybe. Honestly, maybe. Or is it you're just not quite committed enough to get it? And so that's what we've been preaching over the last 3 days.
Yeah, Coach, the horn set seemed to be called a lot tonight. What would you say the role the bigs played in tonight's win?
Yeah, we ran a lot of horns because they switch a lot of ball screens. They were even switching the initial ball screen, which is unusual when their point guard was getting on our 5-man. We've got to do a better job of delivering that. We were getting it once we threw back to the other big and we were going high-low. We got some good action out of it, but we've got to be able to deliver it from the point guard. That's why we were doing it, because of just game planning and understanding that we would have a size advantage.
Coach, you said after the last game the team had to play with some edge, had to defend home court. How did you like that response and what it seemed like?
Well, I do think we played with much more of an edge. First half we're up 29. We second half we play even. As you could see, Yaxel's been having a little bit of a bruise on the bottom of his foot. We've done all the tests. There's nothing serious, so it was great to not have to play him very much. You can tell he was a little gimpy. And then, it's always nice to reward guys. I thought Makai Miles gave us great minutes. He hasn't played much. We're still trying to look to develop some more depth and rotation, especially along our front line. I thought Makai Miles helped himself tonight. It was good to see Jabari make some plays at the end. Our point guard play was a little bit shaky, but Butter made shots. Tony, I thought, was instrumental with playing with force defensively. That's what he does. Allowed us to get to number 6. Yeah, he's been under the weather, and today he kind of no-showed us at shoot-around, saying he was kind of feeling – he's been out. He's had the flu. I don't know if you've heard that's kind of going around. So he was out about 3 days leading into our last game, hence he didn't play. And the fever's gone, but again, today he doesn't show up to shoot-around, so we just told him to stay away from the team. We'll get it addressed tomorrow.
Coach, back to Buddy Johnson. He was 1 for 6 from 3 for last game, but tonight he was 4 for 5. You see this as a confidence booster for them?
Oh, I hope so. Butter and Tony are both Huntsville natives, and I thought they both played really well. Combined to go 8 for 14 from the field. They combined to go 6 for 8 from 3. They scored 27 points. They had 10 rebounds. I thought they both played well. Butter was a little loose with the ball, but other than that, I thought it was great to see the ball go in for him. He is so valuable to this team. We need stability out of our veterans, and I thought Butter and Chris really gave us that tonight, along with Tony.
Going off what you came off, last game, how important is it to get wins after games like that, no matter who you're playing? I mean, kind of how important is it to not only get wins but play well?
Yeah, that's the key. Just play well. What are the 2 most overused words in sports? Culture and process, right? You hear it all the time, but they are appropriate as it relates to. You got to be process driven. You can't be scoreboard driven. It's easy, and trust me, it's easy to reflect on the fallout from the last game, but we were up 27 points against a pretty good basketball team. So something was going right, and then it just 180'd. If it would have 120'd, you still might can limp to the finish line. But it just 180'd on us. What is that? Is that a fortitude? Is it a lack of confidence? Is it oh no, here it comes again? Because sometimes you see teams do that. Last year's team that made the run at the end found ways to win games when they weren't necessarily playing the best, especially down the stretch. Now in the conference tournament, we of the minutes on the floor, 40, 40, 40 of that 120 on the floor. I think we led for like 100 of those 120. So we were in a pretty good shape in the tournament. But if you remember how we closed the regular season, we weren't necessarily playing our best, but we were finding ways to win to get to the double bye. This group has got to develop a confidence within itself that when things get a little shaky, everybody settle down, it's okay. And we need somebody. Eric was that somebody last year. Now, it helps when it's the point guard, but Eric was the guy that was like, hey, we're all good, man. I got it. We're going to get the ball where we need to get it. We've got to continue to develop that, and obviously it helps when you win to develop that confidence because that's what's going to help you in league play.
Kind of going off of that, this team's at a similar spot to this. You know, a game below 500, playing Alabama A&M. You reeled off, I think, the 6 straight wins last year. Just how big is this for confidence? What do you see as you kind of look at last year's team and this year's team that maybe you can say we're building, we're developing what we need to?
Yeah, last year's team was a little different because we had 9 newcomers, and of those 9 newcomers, many of them, which are on this year's team, were playing prominent roles early in their Division I career. We don't have that same crutch this year. We've got guys that have returned. I think we returned close to 65% of our production off last year's championship team. So we shouldn't be having the early stumbles. However, last year, we got smoked a few times early. This year, every game has been in the deciding realm, tied, we led, or we were down a possession every one of the 6 losses. Now, it's concerning that we haven't been able to overcome that. The only time that we have come back and held on to a win was in the get-out game in the Island against Louisiana Lafayette, where we were down late and we made a push, but we won the game comfortably, double figures. This group has got to find a way. We've got to know, okay, from a leadership standpoint, and it's got to be Yaks, it's got to be Butter, it's got to be AJ. Do you guys know anything in common with those 3? Well, they were all voted all-league early. They were all prominent players last year in the run. It's got to be them. But they've got to play in a way that they have the confidence to take over that control.
It helped me a lot. I feel like the rim get bigger for me. I feel like I'll be more energized, get my hands on ball, deflections and stuff. So I really like getting going early.
With the way that you lost last game, coming back from that, how important was it? I think I say this, how important was it to play well today, after a tough loss?
Very, very well. Because we felt like we supposed to win again. Like, I know all of UAB fans felt like we supposed to win because the lead we had built up. But it's basketball, things happen. But this was a very, very important game for us. We felt like we had to come out and do the same thing we did against Arkansas, but do it through the whole game, So that's what we had to do.
Christian, you've 25 points tonight. Do you feel like you're playing? Andy Kennedy's talking about playing with an edge. Do you feel like you'll play with that edge tonight?
Yes, I feel like we did. Like sometimes in the second half, I feel like in different spurts we didn't. But overall, I feel like we played a pretty solid game.
You get a lot of your production off offensive rebounds. Tonight, you had 5 in the first half, I think 7 overall. What's the key to being a good offensive rebounder?
I learned it from Dennis Rodman. I went on YouTube and learned how you just rebound the ball. He was one of the best rebounders in the NBA. And he was undersized for a center. And he always said, like, get opposite of the ball. And AK preached that to us too. Like, wherever they shoot it from, say they shoot it from the right corner, you get on the left side. They shoot it from the left corner, you get on the right side. They shoot it from the right wing, you get on the left corner, before they get the rebound. So I always get opposite of where they shooting from.
How much does that kind of wear on the opposition when it's happening to you too? I mean, offensive rebounds, how much does that sort of build up, on the other team, frustration-wise, that type of thing?
I know it kind of frustrates them a lot because I could tell, like, once I had got like 2 or 3 of them, they kind of start hitting me a little bit, so I could tell they had kind of got frustrated that I was getting the rebounds. Their coach probably was hollering at them or something in the timeout, like telling them, like, box me out. But I like it, I like it.
It seemed like you came out with a different level of aggression and intent tonight. From a player perspective, kind of what has been consistent at least 2 days leading into this game, what was kind of the motivation for this?
The motivation is that we're not winning. We're not playing to the standard of UAB. That's really the motivation right now. Because you know, we coming off a championship last year. You know, it was a lot of expectations, and it just been downhill. You know, it's been a roller coaster right now. And, we just trying to, you know, get it back going. You know, playing to our standard, what we can do, what we know we can do, get back to what we've been doing.